And I see we've already got a bunch of people in here. All right, right on. Hello, I'm Odin. Welcome to the Sunday Makes Odin live stream. Hi, welcome to the Odin Makes Sunday live stream. Yeah, I'll get one of those out eventually. Hello, my name's Odin, and Felicia either isn't showing, which is okay, or hasn't made it here yet. Here in America, today is Super Bowl Sunday, something we did not consider, or I did not consider last week when I said, hey, we'll stream again in 2 weeks, because I don't really follow American football. It's not my thing. I'm not sure if Felicia or her friends and people that she likes to be around, family, does. So she may not be here today, and that is okay. I do not mind at all. I am not slighting her in the slightest because she's allowed to have a life, and if that's what she wants to do, that is fantastic. So there's my quick and dirty on that. Hello, what's going on? I brought the beast out again. I'm doing my best to cut motherboards. I wanted to do this continuously since the last live stream, and I got out here this morning. Why? Well, I procrastinate for one. To just, for the past couple weeks, I get done with work and I'm not in a creative mood. I am not in a headspace to be pleasant sometimes. So huge apologies to Shop Gremlin and others who've had to put up with me when I get off work and I am not pleasant. So things aren't happening. What is happening? I've got the death machine set up. I've got a new piece cut. I've started cutting out new motherboards. The plan was to do a double layer wood piece motherboard background in order to try to make sure that the pieces and panels fit up the way I want them to, that I can have little drop-in panels that only need a single little like screw or some other attachment on the bottom. Haven't really hardcore figured that out. And they can stay in place because they're captive, right? Simple crap. Stuff I did to the chopper leg, which you guys haven't seen because I haven't bothered to edit the video. But I'm trying to put that together. Probably should double check that people can hear me and see me. Cheese, it is I, Cheese. Cheese is here. That's awesome. Should probably go to live chat so I see them all and pop these things out. I am wearing a body pack microphone because seems like I don't have to have, seems like I might be the only one here. Granted, I didn't remind Felicia because anyway, it's all good. It's all on me. She's out here because I didn't confirm that she was going to be here. So we're not upset with her. I'm only wearing the one mic, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I can see I got levels. I'm seeing lots of good mornings and nobody screaming that they can't hear me. Ah, yes, Steve D says we can see and hear you. Good. I hate it when I start going off and nobody can hear me. Anyway, so I got the piece set up. I'm trying to cut out some big parts. Should be pretty much ready to go. Now, the big question is, if I'm wearing a microphone here, right, how well is that going to hide the noise of the air compressor that has to be here because of the way the table is, and this thing that is not exactly quiet? I've got two more big pieces to cut out. They only take about 10 minutes. Because my plan is to have a back piece. This was some of my tests to make sure stuff was working this morning. And then there's another piece that's going to go on top of it. These two happen to be identical, so it's not going to look like anything changed other than, hey, look, there's two. So let's cut out the other pieces that go on top of these. See how well I can talk to all of you in chat while Mr. Machine is working. I do have ventilation in the garage. No, I'm not wearing a mask because I don't respect myself. But I do have ventilation here. I've got the big door is cracked open. The person door is open wide, and I've got my fan blowing air out as a way of trying to keep the smoke under control. Anything quick here? Good morning, afternoon, and evening. We're playing with lasers. Yes, like lasers a lot. How you doing, Odin? Pretty good, Marvel guy. Thank you. So I'm going to click over. I do not have this mirrored, probably should have, but I'm going into Lightburn because that's what makes this machine work. I am focused, yeah. Try and focus, Odin. I got a thing that popped open. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see about... I do have these. I will wear those. I have no idea which way is going to be the right. Oh, you know what? I think I can actually see the beam on this shot. So there were problems with the last one with not all of the panels were being exposed. I did make that modification this morning. It seems like everything is working. So hopefully cutting out 4 of these and then checking the fit. Actually, I have checked the fit a little bit. It's going to work out the way I want it to. One thing I do also have to do, I'm glad this doesn't have an alarm, something reaching in. The air assist has a tendency to blow the panels around, so I kind of want to keep an eye on it for when it's done with the panel to remove that so it doesn't pop up, catch the laser head, and move my cutting piece, which will ruin the whole part. And most importantly, don't put your fingers in front of the laser. I got a question about fire extinguisher ready from Steve D. And yes, I do. I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can see it. We had set it down here. I do have one. Can't really see it. There we are. I do have one ready. Thank you, Shock Gremlin, for a fire extinguisher. Let me put that a little more prominent. That's a job of the focus puller. This looks awesome. Thank you, Ralph. There we go. So these pieces specifically also I'm trying to save because these will be the panels that will end up dropping back in because they already fit. I know they do. They came from that hole. The fact that the plywood is slightly warped worries me a little bit because if the plywood gets closer to the laser, the focus is off. It's usually not a huge deal, but it does mean that the cut line will be actually bigger. It's a Proton Pack, it'll be fine. But, the OCD in me wants it to not be bubbling around. The other thing that I've realized this morning that should be kind of fun is I have these giant pieces of plywood that don't fit in the X-Tool laser. So the X-Tool is the one that I was using last week, which is not currently hooked up or turned on. But that one takes, the biggest piece of material that can go in it is 300 millimeter by 600 millimeter. I can cut that with this one, with this laser. So I can use this laser to put into that machine anyway, yeah. It's not much different than using my table saw, right? Except that it's not my table saw and I get to play with more lasers. The other thing is there's less material. This cuts out, less than a millimeter wide, whereas my table saw is going to cut out, 1/8 of an inch or about 4 millimeters wide or 3.5. Feel I've got a little fleck of something from the previous cut underneath it. I am genuinely happy here. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be because it's a safety thing, right? I'm totally blatantly not being safe. I am very happy that I can reach in and it doesn't set off a proximity alarm. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of not. It should have a little bit more safety measure, but still, that's kind of cool. That helps me right now. All right. Now it's starting to finally cut the most outside part. You can't see a dang thing. No, you can't see anything. Let's go back to that. It's now starting to cut the outside perimeter. It's cutting out the little faceted outline of the cyclotron that goes around the bottom. So we are getting there. That may not be that exciting. It's going to come back. It'll come around. You're right, Ralph. If I know exactly where the cuts are going to be, I could weigh it down to some spots, maybe. And you can kind of see one here. I've got some 1, 2, 3 blocks that I've set down to do exactly that. And I've done that before, especially with cutting foam. I'll have little weights or magnets or something down when I was using, something that wasn't wood. Magnets would work. And I was doing that specifically to help me do that, to keep the wave down, because foam is really never going to lay down flat, right? And so, yeah, like with the Tommy guns, when I did those however many years ago, I guess it's only really been 2, I was using those to weigh it down, like you're saying, Ralph, and that totally works. Big thing is, at this point in time, I don't know where my Gorilla Glue is, which would be my preferred go-to for gluing these 2 pieces of plywood together. So I'm going to end up using the super glue that Dan Does Junk got us for cosplay repair. Thank you, Dan. This is true. I could screw it down. Dan Does Junk in the comments is suggesting that since my base is wood and I'm cutting wood, I could screw it down, and I could. Mostly I just try to keep my cutting stock as flat as I can, but it's still, I'm buying the plywood from Home Depot, so I get as flat as it comes from Home Depot, because I'm not actually buying proper laser plywood. I mean, is there such a thing as proper laser plywood? Yeah, actually, a lot of the laser companies make material specifically for their lasers, because the fillers that are put into it, the adhesives that are used to make the plywood, are of a different grade that don't react with the laser the same. I guess they're not as smoky or something. I just know that, not AtomStack, but another laser company that also sells their material, this happened to my friend Sean Cash, because he didn't use that company's stock for cutting, they voided his warranty, which was just, really, guys? Is that is that really what we want to do? But apparently it is what they wanted to do. It is so nice when it actually lifts out the way it's supposed to and doesn't get caught on stuff. All right. Lasers. So I still love working with lasers. I hope you guys are not annoyed with me being excited about laser death machines. Because I got all these little round bits that I'd made for, like... There was a thought back in December when I made this file for putting in screw holes, right? And they're cut for putting in screw holes. But now I don't remember why. But, whatever. They're there. There was a reason. Whatever. I'm sure they'll be highly useful. Oh, that's kind of cool. Steve D in the comments is saying that he uses blue tack to stick his stuff down if he needs to when he's doing laser cutting. It only smells a little bit when it hits it. This thing makes so much stink as it is right now. I don't really care about how much it smells. But, okay. No, that's great. Why didn't I do this before? Because I keep fighting with it. That. Walk around to the other side. I'll just go ahead and set it here, which probably isn't going to work as well as I think it is. Will this do it for me? Yes. Okay. Now it's actually up in the air. Okay. What are you doing, Odin? I just cut off, I was trying to break the corner off of the plywood. It was pieces I'm not going to use to make it easier for me to walk around it. I know I'm totally off screen, sorry guys. But the filler that I talked about, this is the, oh, I'm still taped. The filler that I was talking about, it's got fibers. It's, you know, it's like a twine or something, or a string or something that's in the plywood. I really don't. There's got to be a manufacturing reason to put it in there. I don't understand why they're in there, but anyway. So I was breaking it off, but I happened to have one of those twines right there. So it just started to tear the side open, you know, like that little string thing in a piece of cellophane on packaging, old packaging anyway. Treg, do you know why there's filaments, why there's string embedded into, especially this plywood? I don't understand why that's done. Treg may not know either, but he'd be the first person. He's obviously the first person I want to ask. Okay, I don't think I had a failure with this, so I don't think I can get my fourth one out of this. I'm just going to get a whole new piece and make it easy on myself, and then I will cut up the, there's nice and out of focus, my failure. I will cut up and use this in smaller pieces for other projects. Okay, that's fine. Checking on this. Oh yeah, Dan does junk. I'm seeing the factory markings of the plywood. I'm guessing it's fire rated. Perfect for lasers. Thank you, Dan. Cheese says lasers are so cool. Yeah, I really, really enjoy the lasers. So Marvel Guy had at least one question above, which Chalk Roma did answer, saying, have I ever tried Ben Eady's technique for cutting a gradient into foam, for cutting an angle into foam using a gradient? I know in a couple of previous live streams, Felicia and I talked about that, because Ben Eady's, the way he did it totally worked. And if I was to use that as a gluing surface, it would work. What it is by creating a gradient in the artwork for the laser cutting file, and then using that as an etching, you can get a terraced step of depth cutting into the foam, right? Because it's cutting at like 10% thickness and it does 20% and so forth, only it's a gradient of 0 to 100 until it gets all the way through to the bottom of the foam. That worked. It just took a really long time. It's much faster just to use your rotary tool, and it wasn't perfect. So just tried it, didn't really care for it. I don't think either I didn't refine it enough or whatever. I wasn't going to bother with it. Using Rocket Prop's cutter, wow, I can't, angle cutter that he's recently made would be preferred, or just doing it with the rotary tool, one of those things. Okay, so I should be okay here. I need to reset Lightburn to, this is a detail that I remember having to look up before and I've forgotten, but there's a setting in the Lightburn program that keeps this red light on, which I can't even see on, I guess I can see it in the main camera. This little laser here, so this is nearly a sighting laser, right? This is nothing more than a laser pointer. When I tell the laser to show me where it's going to cut, which is this, currently that laser turns off. Isn't that sort of the important thing to know? It's like, where is this going to cut exactly? And it's like, around there somewhere. I can see through, there's a little window on this side of the laser head that's got a protective, it's a piece of acrylic, you know, it's the same type of stuff the glasses are made out of to protect your eyeballs from the laser. So I can kind of see, it comes back on when it's done. I can kind of see where the laser head's going to go. So I can see that I'm totally within my plywood enough that I'm not worried about it having, what am I trying to say? About missing my cutting surface. But if I could see more precisely where it's going to go, that's preferred. So I'm using light burn. I'm not using AtomStack's software to do my burning. There is a setting in light burn to keep that laser on. I just have to Google it again to figure that out because I upgraded onto a new machine and lost that setting. So, but anyway, not a big deal. What I do want to do is send the laser home. Which also resets the focus. Oh, I'm on top of this little blue piece. So one of the things I've also got are scraps. Can you see it, any of the cameras? You can see it on two a little bit. I've got this, my finger's way over in the corner. This is a little piece of blue plywood. This is the same thickness as what I'm cutting. This is left over from doing some of the internal panels that we were working on last time. I have these as standoffs under the feet. So I've got one here in this corner, and I got one over here in this corner. It's kind of funny. I can see it, but I'm not seeing it very well. But over here in this corner, I have that on all 4 feet. So the laser is sitting level because the foot way out there that you can't see on camera is actually on the cutting piece. So that would have made this whole thing ever slightly cantilevered. Probably wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things because it's nearly a meter over there. But I put all the parts down just to try and keep this as level as I can with the stuff I've kludged together. So this should be good. I'm here, hit the autofocus. Something I forgot to do before, one of my fails. Why do we autofocus? If you have the laser the right distance from the material, you're going to get a smaller cut. You're going to get a more focused cut. You're going to get a cleaner cut. That's it. You're going to get a cleaner cut. You're going to get a smaller cut, and it will actually cut through, and it won't end up just being, you know, a death ray that obliterates, you know, a wide swath of. Anyway, all that stuff is still fun to do, though. Lasers are fun. Before I hit go. I can just hit go. Let me put my glasses on. We're good, right? Yeah? Okay, one more. Boink. Successful cutting. Lasers are cool. Oh, okay. So Ted answered my question. I'm just now seeing, I'm calling him Treg, that's his Discord name. Ted is answering my question in chat. You guys have already read it. So it's a string used to stitch together smaller pieces of veneer to make larger sheets of plywood. According to the Google, I'll trust that. Thank you, Ted. Oh, hey, look, Steve says from Google, the string is used to sew smaller pieces of veneer together that individually are too small to make a full sheet of plywood. Oh, cool. Thank you, Steve. Oh, okay. So Steve is trying to tell me holding the shift key, then frame, will turn the beam on to the power value set in the laser file setting while the frame runs to allow better placement. I'm going to have to try that. Jerry Can Cosplay says, IKEA flat pack furniture, here I come. Yeah. Have I lasered IKEA flat pack furniture? Probably. Unintentionally. I know I've helped Shop Gremlin make housings, make containers to hold a lot of the 3D printers out of lac tables and other IKEA pieces. So, not wrong. Biggest issue is getting a 1 meter by 1 meter. Basically, this is like 900 by 950, something like that is its outside dimensions. You know, I've got the ability to actually check. No, this is over. The width of the feet is 104 centimeters. By about 114 centimeters. So it was more than a meter. Sorry, guys. I'm sure IKEA sells a table that big, but I don't think I'd want to dedicate it to this. So for all of us here in America that is used to using archaic forms of measurement, this is just over a meter, right? It's a meter's going to be somewhere over here, which is off camera. Great. Sitting on it, this plywood it's sitting on, which I guess I can see, but you guys can't on any of the channels, any of the cameras, is actually 4 feet. So 4 feet wide is greater than a meter. We've known that for a while, but here's a visual representation that none of you can see to see how much of a difference between the two sizes there are. Well, that's a good sign when I can't get a hold of it, but the air assist will still blow it out. Air assist in the laser. AtomStack, thank you for including an air pump with this one. It's over here sitting on a piece of floor mat foam to make it a little bit quieter because it's a rattly, noisy thing. But the air assist is pumping through this rubber hose or rubberized hose. So it's actually blowing out through the laser. This keeps debris and smoke and other crap from building up in the laser path, and again, gives you a cleaner cut. It also, oddly enough, helps cut down on flame ignition. You would think that blowing air would make give you a better flame, right? You're adding air to the whole mix. No, it's actually keeping it down. It blows it out like blowing out a candle. It's too much air, right? And so, yeah, very grateful for having that. The first AtomStack machine that I got, wasn't that AtomStack or was that Sculpt Fun? The first one, no, it was Sculpt Fun. I actually had to buy a fish tank bubbler. I had to get an air pump for a fish tank because the machine they sent me, the air pump they made only worked with European power grid. I couldn't use it with the single phase we have here. They didn't have a 110 version, only the 230, right? Is that what it is? Not 220, or is it 220? It's 230, isn't it? Ralph says about 41 inches by 45 inches. Thank you, Ralph. that's what the size of this thing relates to in inches for those of us that still work with things based off of a king's foot. That's the wives' tale anyway, right? Steve D says he doesn't have an air assist on his X tool. Is it worth the investment? Yes, at this point, I have no interest in running a laser without the air assist. Because of what I cut. The air assist is a huge plus for cutting foam. So if you're not cutting foam, I also think I'm getting better cuts with the plywood because the air assist is just keeping the path clear. I'm just going to kind of repeat myself. The first few I had that when I was playing, getting to start playing with lasers, going back to like the longer and the Sculpt Fun and the 3 trees, they didn't have an air assist. And I think it's 2 trees, not 3 trees. 2 trees might have an air assist. I do think it really helps a lot. I do think it really helps keep, it gets you a better cut. I don't know how else to put it. It's cooling the material. It's keeping the material clear of extra crap. It's keeping the flame up down from happening. I think with, it keeps the scorching down. which I still get on the backside because I'm cutting onto plywood, so the air has nowhere to go. So from the front, I'm getting a really nice clean cut, but on the back, I'm getting all this. This is mostly because I'm sitting on plywood. If I was sitting on a grate, a honeycomb, you know, heck, even if I just laid a couple layers of window screen down, metal window screen, that would probably give me a little bit better airflow and keep this down. What I'd rather do is just have pieces of honeycomb, because what is honeycomb? You keep saying that. No, it's not the stuff bees make. Honeycomb is, it's kind of a zigzag extruded metal that's laid on its side, and then when they're set together offset, it makes a honeycomb. Using that really helps a lot with keeping turn your alarm off, Odin. That was my alarm I set for myself a month ago for playing a game with Strick. The honeycomb allows better airflow, especially if you have anything to take the smoke away from what you're doing, to suck it out from underneath where you're working, which is something that my X tool does. So sitting on a honeycomb, it supports the small pieces. I'm kind of talking myself in circles. Boy, I wish I could be more articulate right now. So air assist, yeah, I do think it's worth it. It's unfortunate that it's an additional investment. If there is a way that you can fake it first using the air bubbler or air pump from a fish tank, if you can get a hold of one of those first, if there's a way of just, you know, I'm not quite sure which X tool you're using, Steve, but if you can just get a small air pump with a tube that goes to the air pump inlet on your X tool, it'll probably work, because all it's doing is just forcing air through the system that it's already made to do. If your head doesn't have that built in, then you want to go check out a couple of Ben Eady videos where he talks about how to fix that. Yeah, I would say it is. But I do not know how much of an upgrade cost that is on the X tool. And so it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, it's worth it. But you know, if it's like 500 extra bucks, which I hope it's not, you know, that's a harder sell. So I'm looking at my my plywood. You can certainly tell that I've got my laser set perfect, right? It's oh, that's actually cutting a decent depth into the OSB I've got as my Is there any way I can measure that? I don't think I can. And a lot of the smoke in the shop is probably coming from this material getting burnt more than what I'm cutting. Yeah, I can get, that's a millimeter deep at least. At least. And the one thing I failed to do is bring a bottle of water out here to drink. No, I'm actually, oh, Jerry's actually putting together IKEA furniture and he's crying. Yeah. Catching up on chat, sorry guys. Cheeseaholic says, yeah, but how many cat toys is it? Gonna have to do some math. Let's see. Said it was 104. So, Dan will probably beat me to it. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm just now seeing, I got a text message from Felicia from over an hour ago letting me know that she's not going to be able to make it today. So she actually tried to tell me, I just didn't look at my phone. That's totally on me. So I have 104 centimeters divided by a cat toy. I did that wrong. 104. Oh, no, divided by, oh, centimeters, Odin. Centimeters. You can't do millimeters. You can't do centimeters and millimeters the same number of zeros. It won't work out. There we are. It is 24.75 cat toys across. How's that? And, it looks like about 3 tall. Thankfully, a bottle of water mysteriously appeared due to a cryptid in the shot. Love it. If you guys can get a cryptid in your shot, I highly recommend it. The fumes diffuse the focus of the laser. Yes, that's a really good way of putting it. Similar to a 3D printer, does the laser cutter have an error detection camera? Marvel guy, good question. No, it doesn't have an error detection. They're not that smart. They just start going. What most of them do have is flame detection, and even this one does too. It's got a thing in the front somewhere that if it flames up, if it starts to have a fire, it'll auto shut off, and this one does have that. A lot of them do. Still, they're not perfect, and you get horror stories of walking away from a laser and coming back to a burning shop. So you do want to keep an eye on these things when you're running them. I'm not 100% perfect with that myself, but you do want to keep an eye on them because you will end up, there's a good chance something will go wrong because things are really good at going wrong, right? Now I am running into an issue of, I've got my motherboards, I can start gluing them, I've got the laser set up. Do I just keep trying to cut out parts? You guys get to watch me try and figure things out. I suppose that's what this is all about. It's probably better than dismantling the... All right, so do I get this out of the way so I can just glue together what I got? Or do I try to glue together what I got while this is still running, and I try to make other boards that go into the packs? Because I still want to make little pieces that go in the voids to help make mounting points for Ralph's aluminum V-hook connections. And I want to make a piece that goes behind where the ribbon cable connection is going to go, just so it's more stable, partly because I can do it, right? If I couldn't do this, I wouldn't bother, but I can, so I want to do it. Steve D is saying that he thinks using honeycomb is a lot better than without. Yes, 100%. If you can get... AtomStack actually sent me, you can break it out, sent me a honeycomb kit. So up until I saw this kit, a honeycomb always came as a single flat pack piece. Flat pack is the wrong way to put it. Came as a single pre-assembled piece in a box. I guess the one they sent me is flat pack because I need to assemble it. Use your terminology, Odin. Oh wow, the thing popped open again. So I haven't put together that one to see how it looks. Well, I'm interested because it's a piece of honeycomb. What I'm using my X tool, which is technically honeycomb, isn't a laser honeycomb. Is it in there right now? No, I've got the blades in there right now. So the X tool has a blade system where you have a series of metal blades that come to a point to help reduce diffusing of the laser on the underside of your cut. That works like a honeycomb. So instead, it's every centimeter or so you've got this vertical bar, and you can pick them up and move them around. I don't have the camera set up where I could show you better. What I have done when I've needed to use to do things smaller than the size of that grid is I've taken, it's still a honeycomb, but it's they call it an egg crate from a light. I've got one up here. It's an old KinoFlow light that had this piece that fits. It's used for directional on lights. It's what is it for? You have LEDs, you have fluorescent lights, and they just throw light everywhere, right? So you put this honeycomb piece in front of the light, and it helps direct that light a little bit more. It is not a spotlight. Ted is probably cringing real hard as I'm trying to explain this. But the one piece that I have left over from one of my Kino flows is basically the same as the laser honeycomb. So I've put that into my X tool to cut out, smaller little fiddly pieces, because it works. And yeah, absolutely. If you can get a honeycomb, use a honeycomb. The biggest honeycomb I've got, I think, is 300 millimeters square. So it would work. I would have interest in raising this up slightly and just putting down some sort of grate. I don't know if I can get honeycomb for it big enough for all this, but it would be nice to have. It'd be great to have a bit of that underneath, because yeah, cutting with the honeycomb, it like using an air assist gives you cleaner parts. It reduces the scorching on the backside of your cut material. And it's time to go live. For all my friends out there that don't get any kind of notification, I'll put this on live streams and there. Okay, done and save. Coming back to that. Cable snakes like to release their innards. Yeah. Okay. Better without. I'm laughing as I'm reading through the comments backwards. Sorry, guys. The Odin scale of things. Yes. I need to make some minifigures, not just for a side project. I need to make some classic space minifigures for me. That was a feeling I was having a little bit earlier. Notification worked for me. Hooray! So Dan's Cryptid just gave him a plate of rice with butter chicken and garlic naan. I gotta hang out in Dan's shop more, man. That sounds great. No, I'm gonna lunch hard when this is done. Ralph says he needs a cryptid. He's been without one for about 6 years now. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Getting a good quality cryptid, a cryptid that you are happy to live with, a cryptid who is fully worth having around. Yeah, get one. Get one. I wish it was that easy to just get one. It's not. They control the dispersion of light, helping to maintain random. Oh, okay. So Ted is giving a better explanation of what the egg crate is that goes in front of a light, which I've got one on order for work, but it's a soft one. It still works, meaning it's fabric, and you stretch it out over your LED light, but it still gives you, it's like a 2-inch deep egg crate. It's pretty big. Ted is saying that egg crate on stage lights and studio lights control the dispersion of the light, helping to minimize random light bounce from the rest of the set, not directly in path of the light. So, yeah, still not a spotlight, but it does cut down, and yeah, I can agree. That is, he's giving a way better description of it, but yeah, that's what they do. And the older ones that are made out of metal perfectly work great for lasers, because it's an egg crate. Gunny Brown says, Happy Super Bowl, Gunny. For those of us that are in the States, my live stream will be over before the Super Bowl starts. I checked, but probably not by much. I'm confused because Google was trying to tell me the Super Bowl was going to start at 3:30 my time, but it starts at 6:30 Eastern. But it's happening in Louisiana, which is central, because U.S. is big enough. We got like 4 time zones, right? So if it starts at 6:30 Central, that means it's going to start, I guess it'd be 4:30 here. It'd be a little later. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. Anyway, we'll be done beforehand. Frankie's here. Cool. Morning, Odin. Happy to see the pack coming along. Thank you. I'm cutting up motherboards, Frankie. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the public portion of the Odin Makes a live stream. Totally forgot to talk about that. Hey, guys. How's it going? Felicia's not able to make it today. She's feeling crummy. So all the love to Felicia. Hope she feels better soon. I am going to be going to Stockton Con next week, and I do have an open invitation to Felicia if she so wants to be able to go. I know I'm going to be able to get her a wristband to be able to get in because she's part of the crew. So there's a small chance if anyone's in the Central Valley of California and you want to go to Stockton Con next week that you'll be able to see Felicia there. Otherwise, in 2 weeks we're going to try and be back here again, and hopefully she'll be able to make that. Boy, that was a tangent and a half. How am I doing? So what are we doing in here? She's not here today. I finally got the laser set up because I'm trying to get the big motherboards cut out for the back of the packs. What I've got now are 2 pieces cut out. That's one piece. And here's the other piece. So I'm planning on doing this in 2 layers. What I've done is have these made so the perimeter matches Lost Wax Oz's original PDF designs, but I've made some of the panels be slightly different in size. The plan is, what I hope works, I'm trying to create a shelf. Can you even see it? Yeah, you can kind of. I've got my top piece here, and then this piece on the underside is slightly bigger. That way, this panel, which I want to have removable, has something that'll catch it and keep it in place. And it won't fall through because it's supported by the slightly larger panel underneath. And then in addition to that, I've got a cutout here, which is the opposite. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I have an error. Okay, that's fine. No, I don't. No, I'm right. I don't have an error. I erred thinking about having an error because what I've done is I've cut little tabs that'll go on the back side of the speech bubble that can get glued in. So this is glued here. Then from the front side, it gets fed through. I'll try and get this glued together so we can see it. So this will latch here like a battery door on a toy. And then up at the top, I can just put a screw to hold it in place. And I've done that for all 3 of these panels. Because I've got, like, we're looking from the side from where the pack would glue on. It's going to be here. So this is on the inside again, where this panel will have a little tab that fits into the top. And then on this side, I failed to do what I needed to do. So I'll actually have to glue something in to make it work because I forgot to do that to these parts, to move these bits up to make a shelf to catch it. So failure here, but I will just add pieces instead of cutting a whole new part because I don't want to cut up that much plywood. Oh, I got to talk through it and realize I made another mistake. I'm really good at that, actually. So what are we doing today? We're doing that. And the other thing I want to do is measure and figure out and fiddle with getting a couple more panels glued into the pack to give me solid connection points for things like the ribbon cable and especially for the V-hook. I do have concern over the weight of the wand and the weight of the cable coming off the wand dragging down on the foam. Foam will distort over time, right? It's just what it does. Surprise. So I want to put just gluing in a small bit of plywood, making a little box that goes inside, is really all it's going to need. So I kind of want to do that too. So I suppose that's what we're going to be doing next. Ralph says, clever, I like the lid. Thank you, Ralph. Oh, okay. 6:30 Eastern. It's going to start at 5:30 where the game is taking place. So it is going to be 3:30 here. Thank you, Cheese. What you got is the pre-game, the kickoff party, and then the actual game. Coming back up, see, Gunny was the first one I saw coming in. We got Frankie, Alex Stoner. How you doing? Hello, Alex. Trying to explain that. Louis Causey is here. Hey, Big O. Hey, Louis. The Only Skittles says, hi, Odin. Marital Turnip is here. Sweet. Hello. And thank you, Cheese. Collect the lid. Advexen got Venom ads for Marvel Overwatch. All right. Frankie in, that's so cool. I wish I'd come up with a modular system for my pack so I could secretly take it apart, upgrade or fix some bits, and then put it back together. Yeah, Frankie, but your pack is still pretty cool. You've done quite a bit to that. Cuddle is here. Hey, Odin. Hi, Goat. And Dad does junk. My cryptid just gave me a Modelo. Okay, are we seriously trying to? No, we're not. But that's awesome. I don't want to drink a Modelo on my stream. Here's a question I was expecting to come up. Maker Bats says, hey, Odin, weren't you going to release a video in January? Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, I wanted to. I really did. I wanted to. And I really honestly thought I could. Going back to why am I lasering now instead of having worked on this earlier when I didn't, I'm still not keeping my act together. I'm still having trouble separating how I think and feel when I'm done with work, which sometimes is, it's stressful due to people interactions. It's hardly stressful due to what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. And then also the act of fighting traffic. It's amazing how everyone is offensively driving now. No one's like trying to get along in traffic. So when I get home, it becomes really difficult, even though I've got the space now to be able to walk out and do it anytime. That's also kind of a curse because, I'll do it later. And I've been doing that way too long. And so that's why the video didn't come out. Why did I just edit one of the other things I had done? Kind of the same thing. I haven't had the ability to really, I just got to do the thing. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I don't know what else to say. I'll come out into the shop at random things to do something, and it's exciting to be out here, which is nice. So I want to do videos. When I'm not in the shop, when I'm in traffic, when I'm finally got home and trying to wind down and not just be the incredible jerk, which I do, it gets really hard to be in a mental state of I can go be creative and not be Hulk smash. So that's kind of what happened. And I'm still fighting that. And little things still pop up constantly that prevent me from doing that, prevent me from getting going on stuff. One of the things mentally that stopped me from getting anything else accomplished, I've got a Band-Aid on my thumb. I gouged my thumb on a resin 3D printer trying to remove something from the build plate. And so now that I've had a huge gash on my thumb, that stopped me from wanting to be in front of the camera. I don't want to have a permanent video with crap on my thumb, right? This is why some of the other build channels are always wearing gloves. It hides Band-Aids. I wasn't doing that, so I haven't done it. So yeah, that's why I haven't done a video, is mentally I'm still wasn't in a I'm gonna go out and do stuff when stuff is done. I'm just having a hard time getting out from being behind the computer. Why don't you edit? Because that's what I've been doing all day. That's what I do for my day job. So when I come home, I don't exactly feel I'm going to jump into this project. It's more like, I want to get away from this program. So yes, I promised that. I wanted to do that. That weighed on my head as well. The knowledge that I am not following through on something that I had said that, hey, I want to do this thing. Hey, let's just actually say it, Odin. Hey, I want to make a video in January. And the knowledge that I didn't follow through on that also weighs on my head somewhat, because once again, it becomes this, Odin, you're a disappointment. And yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I want to get them out. You know, getting a video out is going to be really good for me too, for multiple reasons. And I know that, especially standing in the shop and talking to you guys on video. But man, is it hard to get out and get going. I'm sorry. Amir is here. Hi, Odin. Hey. Marvel guy, once you finish both Proton Packs, will they be wearable? Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. If they weren't wearable, yeah. No. Love the camera angle. Reminds me of your in real life height. Oh, is my camera like... All right, good. I'm glad. I don't know what is the camera lower? I do the Hulk smash thing all the time, Jerry. Yeah. Oh, that's so hard not to do it, isn't it, Jerry? You just get frustrated with something and it's just, yeah. Oh, the frustration feedback loop is horrible. I've actually cut way down on my caffeine. Not quite the intake. I still intake a lot of caffeine, but the way the caffeine is delivered is cut way down because that feedback loop of frustration leading to Hulk smash is, yeah, not pretty and not avoidable. Dan says, I'm with you there, Odin, but mostly just tired from work. Even on the weekends when I do have time to craft, it's still kind of hard to get into it. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I'm not trying to, yeah, let's have a, hi, I'm Odin. I used to make YouTube videos. What do you call that? It's a you go to a gathering of other people to help each other. it's YouTubers Anonymous. Wasn't trying to do that, but yeah. And honestly, Dan, you did put a video out. You did your new Gundam helmet. Shopgrim and I watched it. It was really fun, actually. It was really cool to watch. Just watch you go through the progress and the process. And one of the things I really enjoyed with it was Dan's primarily got one camera angle, right? There's the occasion that he shows something else, but he has to actually think about it. He doesn't have a crazy setup. Highly recommend Dan's channel, by the way, if you haven't seen it. He's the moderator. You should be able to find his channel pretty easy. On some of the shots that when Dan was working on his helmet, his ground unit Gundam helmet, I think it's a ground unit, right? There was something up next to the camera. So if my eyes were the camera, it was kind of set here, and so it would block like a corner of the screen. And this happened for a number of the shots. It got to be where I was questioning, was he trying to put up what's called a flag to hide something? But then it would go away and it was just a shelf of stuff. So it's like, nah, he just set something up there and it's like, whatever, who cares? Which I think is really cool. The Poke Nerd says, I've watched your videos since 2019 and I love you, dude. Keep it up. Thank you, Poke Nerd. I need to get into the videos because it's gonna do me good if I just do it. I just have to somehow do it. In the meantime, work is going to be, I found out Thursday that I've got a trip to Southern California again. Not a big deal. Thankfully, this time we're doing it in one day. Usually when work wants to send me, all travel has to be done during work hours, which means if I'm gonna go shoot something for an hour on Tuesday, generally we're flying down on Monday and flying back on Wednesday because of whatever. I'm really glad I'm going with a group of people who are like, no, I want to make this one-day trip. So we're flying out early bird on Tuesday and flying back red eye on Tuesday. So I get to be home, right? I'm not waiting to go home. So anyway, travel happens. Travel's going to happen a lot with work too. So that kind of butts into things, but it's nice, I guess. So when I have had some travel in January as well, and that cuts into my energy level for getting out here and doing videos, to be honest. Advixen just says, that's okay. You can always absorb Apocalypse Joe, and I just become the grunge maker. Use all the bandages. Thank you. Yeah, Advixen. Actually, one of the things I need to do for Apocalypse Joe is get those videotapes painted. He got those to me last week, finally. I've got all the tape cases. I've got the innards to do it. I've got all the parts I need now to actually start painting up the tapes. And I haven't done it. Why? Because Joe said, hey, if you shoot it, I can make a video out of it. And I'm like, I had more of the Yosemite Sam bandage earlier, right? It's like my thumb. Anyway, the smallest little thing that I can use as a roadblock to keep me from being in front of the camera, I'll use as a roadblock to keep me from being in front of the camera. Yeah, oh good. Shadowlands is back to working on a rhinestone painting because he was burnt out on it for a while. Yeah, it can be really hard to get back into something when you're trying to, you know, yeah, burnout is horrible. Jerry, oh, thank you, Jerry. Not a disappointment. Thank you very much. Louis Causey gets burnt out. Oh, I'm way behind, aren't I? Burnt out in afternoons with projects, take small projects to work and tinker them at lunch. Yeah, breaks and maybe stay a little, yep. Kai is asking if any other props are in the works, by the way. Pretty curious to know what's coming up next. Yes, so no videos have happened, but a project has started. I've got a good friend who's helped me out with stuff in the past who said, hey, can we do a rando mando? So all he wants is a Mandalorian, but a background Mandalorian. He doesn't want to be any of the ones you guys have heard of, right? He just kind of want to make one up. So yeah, been 3D. That's actually how I hurt my thumb. Been 3D printing parts to make all the armor. Actually found a seller on Etsy that has Mando, the undergarments. So I haven't pulled the trigger on purchasing those. I want to talk to him to see if he'll just buy them. But they actually have, they call them custom. It's a generic Mandalorian suit. It's the jumpsuit with the flak vest and like a cummerbund piece. And it's all sewn from the same materials. It's got overstitching to give it more look. And it comes in generic US sizes, you know, extra large, 2X, 3X, small. So you just purchase the dang thing. And honestly, the cost of, it's coming from Pakistan, the cost of those guys doing it, and even with the cost of shipping on top of it, which is like $40 shipping, is cheaper than it would be for me to buy the materials and do it myself. Maybe not. I might be able to get the materials cheaper, but still there's my time and the high chance of me making a mistake and having to redo, right? So I'm just gonna buy it. But I gotta talk to my friends like, hey dude, I need you to just buy this. But I did get magnetic snaps. I'm gonna use magnetic snaps for some of the armor pieces. Dan is younger and has more energy. Yes! Thank you, Lewis. Oh, it was an unfinished Lego helmet. He had no idea it was blocking the shot. Oh, that's funny. It's fine. I thought it was great. I actually was like, oh, okay, but it's fine. I've got crap. Is there anything in my shot right now? No. I've actually put, is that the camera? No, that's not the camera. I know I've actually put videos out where the camera's in frames and whatever. None of us care. It's just fun. It's fun stuff to look at. Louis Causey agrees. Dan, yeah, okay. Dan says I'm younger, but not that young. Yeah, Frankie N. Yes, I've actually had this talk before with other people. Sorry, I'm just doing comments now. I'll try not to be only comments for the rest of the stream. I back up now, I can't reread it. He's saying that it gets to be really hard to stay focused on completing a project. It's really hard to keep the motivation going to complete a big project. Yeah, it really is. Because you get into the slog of it. You get into that, there's the excitement of starting a project. There's the slog of getting to, it's starting to come together. And once you get to that point of it's starting to come together, it starts to become inspirational again. It starts to be fun of like, oh, hey, this is becoming what I want. It's not a random collection of crap. And he's right in his comment saying you want to stay focused on how fun and cool it's going to be once it's finished. Yes, it's, I would often try to remember how much fun it would be to interact with you guys once it's finished with the video as a method for myself for how to stay focused on what the heck I'm doing with stuff. Totally agree. Is all I'm trying to say as I'm messing it up. Oh, okay. Lewis is telling me I should laser the Ghostbusters logo and Odin Makes on the motherboard. Okay. Yeah, I probably should. You know, I put all these laser panels in, and I have to cut up the warning label that goes on there, but no one's going to care, right? Yeah, and speaker holes. Okay. So the speaker goes in the middle of the cyclotron. That would be, let's do the speaker holes. Let's get this piece of paper, this thing out of the way and do the speaker holes. Actually get going. It's been 20 minutes and I haven't burnt anything. If I had a slightly bigger shop. No, I'm very happy with my shop size. It works really well. But when I'm having to fly around 4-foot square pieces of plywood in a confined space. So I'm walking around. Where did the other one go? Okay, whatever. Don't kick the camera. So the back panels, because I cut a pair out like a month ago or two that had a wrong cut, I've got 2 extra at least of these guys. So, which is nice. So this is the main panel that's going to block the cyclotron, and I like the idea of speaker holes. So let's design some speaker holes. Trying to keep, sorry, this is going to be terribly exciting. Shadowlands, I'm also saving up to becoming a first-time homeowner. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations on that. Dan says, what's that resting on Soul Edge? A piece of foam? Oh, Dan, are you trying to? This was another laser project I wanted to do. This was the, this is the Lego piece that goes over goes onto the backpack to give a Lego man a stud on his backpack. But the hole here is cut too big. That was a mistake. So I want to just cut a new ring of foam that's going to be an adapter that I can just glue into here so it'll actually work in a Lego guy again. And then I can make more of these that are right. I don't know, I just said it there. I thought it'd be funny. You're the first person to call it out that I know of. Okay, so. Jerry can cosplay. Yep. You know, that when you're reading the instructions and it reads recommend 2-person assembly, but you're doing it by yourself. Yeah, all the time, Jerry. Yeah. Kai's trying to request things from Call of Duty Zombies. That's cool. I do like the fact that you're asking for stuff that isn't modern military weapons. That's got a higher chance of happening. Yeah. Nice. Okay, Dan. Did I say your video is unprofessional? Did I say that? I'm sorry, that wasn't quite what I was trying to say, but I liked your video. I like the presentation of it and the relaxed. I like the relaxed nature of it. I did like that. Yep, what's funny is the Lego hand fits perfect on the Soul Edge handle. Yeah, it really kind of does. Okay, pulling away from comments, turning on light burn, and you know, why don't I go ahead and plug in? Oh, right, because I can't look at both at the same time. Whatever, guys. Sorry, you're not going to see the excitement of watching Odin fiddle around with light burn. Yay! So I want this piece. I want to copy and paste that. Okay, and then I'm going to take this part and I'll go ahead and group it. And I'm going to put it into my no output layer. There we go. And I'll take the other piece and oh, it is grouped already. Oh, good. Okay, so those 2 are now grouped. Good. I am grouped. And we're going to rotate this 180 degrees because that's what I want to do. It really doesn't matter. It just makes me feel better. Now, I'm not sure how to go about doing an array easily. Let's say, well, I want to make this the cut. No, I don't want it to be that. So I'm going to create circles. Let's make them 3 millimeters in diameter, nice and big. Lots of noise coming out of it. Oops. Now I get to figure out how I'm going to... Oh, so I've got the circle tool. There we are. I keep drawing circles. There we go. I want to draw circles. Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. This is the problem, why it's really good to have, you know, Felicia here to help, because I can fight with a computer, or I can talk. I'm not really good at doing both. Okay, so I've drawn a circle to represent the circle part of this panel, right? Because this is a circle, so I've made a new circle. That'll give me something I can use to arrange speaker holes in it. I suppose if I copy and paste that, and I just make it, oh, 100 millimeters? That's pretty good in size, right? Yeah. That should be plenty. No, that's probably too big. Let's go 80. Okay. Oh, you didn't copy and paste at all. You just... Oh, thank you. I needed... I didn't want to ruin the one I had. I wanted something new. Can I duplicate? There we go. 80 again. There we go. That with this. And I'm going to remove them both. No, you didn't. Thank you. Line to center. And now this guy to this guy. Doing the same thing. Usually I do a lot of my, when I'm designing the laser cut paths, I'll use Inkscape first and import the SVG. So doing it in Lightburn is not where I'm usually, it's not what I'm used to doing. So I'm going to want that centered, and I'm going to want that over there. Yeah, okay. Centered, and I'm going to want that over there. Oops, wrong side. Left. There we go. Okay, now take these two, and I'll group them. Duplicate those, and I want to rotate them. Oh, but not there. Oh yeah, right, I got an origin point. How nice. Forgot about that. All right, duplicate, there we go. And then I'll take the two groups of holes and group them, and duplicate them, and rotate them 45 degrees. And then I'll take those and group them. Oh, I can't, oh, there we are. I didn't do it right. And group them, and duplicate them, and rotate them 22.5 degrees. How many holes do I need to put in here? That's probably good. You know, for the outside ring, right? I've got, yeah, I don't know, many. More than I can count. So I'm going to go duplicate. I'm going to go to the outside dude. And tell you, I can either okay, so I want to Center, please. Duplicate. How many layers of holes do I want? Thing is, I can't just scale them, right? I suppose I could. Would that be easier? I'm copying and pasting 3mm holes and trying to array them out to make, you know, a speaker grill, right? I suppose it doesn't matter, right? Maybe it'd be more artsy if I do. What are you talking about, Odin? Talk complete. If I was to copy, so I've got a ring of holes that go around the outside of my speaker grill hole, which is going to be 80mm in diameter, which isn't very big, right? But it should be good. If I copy and paste those and then just shrink the entire group down, it'll make all the holes smaller. Now, some speaker grills do that, but you know, I kind of wanted all of them just to maintain the same size. So, is it easier to copy, paste, ungroup, resize? No, let's do it the way I'm doing it, or just make new ones and arrange them again. Okay. Here, and I want to rotate 180. That almost worked. And this guy, and we're going to want to go. Oh, wait. Oh, they weren't grouped, so it just killed it. Okay. I have a group. I am not in a group. So I need this one and this one. It's exciting streams. Group. This to align right. Okay. Ungroup. This. Oh, I lost it. Group. Got so many in the middle now. Okay. And I don't need this guy anymore. Okay. Get rid of this one. Okay. Now this guy and this guy. This is just Control G, right? That's all it is to group? Yeah. Probably should have chat up in the corner just so I can see you guys. I might be able to tell stories while I'm doing this, but probably not. I'm not really good at... And I click and I'm losing the chat already. So, sorry. So duplicate from the center. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Group, duplicate. We'll rotate it 45 degrees. Group, duplicate. Rotate 22.5 degrees. Group. Rotate 11 and an eighth degree. There we go. Hey, that's 2 layers. All I gotta do is a few more of those. This is exciting. Sorry, guys. Let's undo that, actually. There we go. Okay. I'm going to want to duplicate this and make it go over here. I'm going to want to duplicate this. Make it go over here. Now I'm doing this one differently than the last one I just did. If this origin is 291 and this origin is 295, then this should be 246. Oh, it goes the other way. 264. But that's still not enough. What am I doing wrong? 291. Oh, because I'm looking. Okay, you're not helping. Arbitrary. Yeah, it's going to go about here. So self-conscious over being quiet. Duplicate, group. These guys, I want to go left and center. This guy can ungroup. We've got lots of extra things in the center again. Yeah. Oh, this is compelling television. Group, duplicate. So I sit and do this and realize, yeah, there's 8, 9 different ways I could do this. It might be better, maybe. Okay, good. It's still the same spot. That hasn't moved. Good. Okay. I'm going to do duplicate. Yeah, like that. Delete. Take all these. Take all these. Duplicate. 22.5. Duplicate. 22.5. Duplicate. Nope, that wasn't right. 22.5, please. That's better. Duplicate. It's probably a command that does this automatically that a couple of you guys know. I'll just force you all to watch me fumble through it. No, I'm really sorry. Yeah, it would have been worthwhile to hook the video output out. You guys would have just screamed the video. So group, okay. Now I want to delete every other one of these because it's too tight. Okay, so there's that. So this one's going to want to rotate 11 and 1/8 degrees. Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. Are we done already? Okay. So this needs to be non-burn. This needs to be grouped. Can we group with a... Yes, we can. Okay. All right. Somebody was trying to tell me how to see where the laser is going to go. And I need to go and look at that again. It was a shift something. This can be... Okay. So, go home, laser. Do I have a thing under the foot out there? I do not. All right. That's not the way that's supposed to work. You were working, now you're not. Of course, you know, I also had another piece of material under there. You focus on that. Yes. Okay. Much better. You forgot a step, Odin. What a shock. It didn't work. Okay. So much. Oh, good. Not too far. Oh, Mariah's here. Sweet. Danfield of Danbot. That'd be nice. It's time for Master of the Universe Ram-Man armor. Yeah, sorry, Jay Robertson. Never-ending Ghostbusters projects. Yellow this here, cool. Odin thinks, yeah, sorry, guys. Hello, Neon Knight. Good, we're having lots of conversations back and forth. There we are. From Steve D, holding the shift key, then frame will turn the beam on to power values set in the laser fire settings while the frames... Okay, so shift... and frame. Shift and frame. Well, yeah, that helped. Apparently my power value set is 0. Now I need to know where that setting is. That's just it. That's the part I don't remember. Because it's cuts, move, camera control. Don't have that. Move. Set origin point, clear origin, move. Is it here? No. Cuts, lasers. Don't want that. All right. I am tempted to just you guys to go there. I want the whole thing. You still grouped? Nope. Okay. Undo. Set it over here. This needs to move to an engraving instead. Line. Oh, that's really light. Yeah, line. Yeah, let's just give that a shot. Hopefully I can draw a line on the plate where I want this to go, and then I'll just go from there. So, start. You have no layers of project set to output. I don't? Oh, okay. Well, then we'll set those to output. Sorry. Go again. You are not burning well enough to, this must be a setting for foam, because that isn't doing anything to the OSB. That's doing nothing to the OSB. What's the red one gonna do? All right, let's try that one. Oh, there we are. Now we're making a mark. So I'm very sorry it was boring as all to watch me sit here and think. I just, you know, do that a lot. Okay. Plus I'm working with a computer, right? That's always the best, working with a computer. Okay, so I want to make that not on the output. Get in here to all of these guys. Make them output. But I don't want this one on the output. This can go back to being notation. Oops, that's all of them. That's not the way I wanted to do it. Oh, you guys got grouped. Okay. Right, I did that intentionally, and then I changed it, which, whatever. Okay. Okay. Can we see anything? Can we see anything? Yeah, kinda. Well, it's almost in camera view. There, I'll walk around and fix that. So, question for you, Odin. You're pointing the camera at the laser. Is that good for your cameras and your image sensors? No, no, it's not. Not at all. But you know, get the shot. Right. Yes, I was wearing my safety glasses the whole time. I swear. Well. Burn! There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Speaker grill, is that all right? Looks like there's still probably, like I should have reduced the number in this one ring. But whatever, I'm not going to bother. Lewis, does this meet expectations? Is this okay? I got to admit, it does bug me that I got multiple rings, right? I got the center point, and then I got my first ring. Now I'm going to talk about it. So I got my center point, and I got my first ring, which I reduced the number of. And then I got this ring, the second ring. This has the same number of holes as all the subsequent rings, but because they're closer together, so I wonder if I should go through and delete now because I have to rearrange everything. I can't just delete and click a button. This can be like this. Where's my, all right. Got the little plugs that have burnt out from making the holes. You know what you could use to take care of this problem, Odin? A vacuum cleaner. If only Ryobi had sent you a vacuum cleaner, that would just solve this problem. All right. Let's get this one burnt and I'll try and figure out where the vacuum went. So, when I first started doing the laser cutting thing, this is 100% how I was lining stuff up. I would just burn my sacrificial tabletop that I was using as a way of showing where my piece was going to go so I could lay it down and burn something new into it. Because of this, if I don't dick with the file a whole lot, which is not going to happen, I'm going to dig with it, I can always come back like Lewis was suggesting and put an Odin Makes logo on it and put the Ghostbusters logo, and I can engrave all that into it, which I think is a good idea. I like that, but I'm not set up for that. So I'll probably end up doing that again, where I'll end up burning in a target so I can lay my parts down and etch those in later. There we go. Not as bad as MIG or TIG welding. No, the light is not as bad as those two, but still all the warnings say not to do it, and I should wear my safety gear, right? The arc flash. Hello, Daniel Knight. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I'm currently cleaning up my side of the basement where I live. Well, that's awesome, Daniel. It's going to be a little workshop for you. Looks great. Also, that's a big speaker. Well, you know, I want to make it big enough. It's 80 millimeter, whatever. Lewis says, I approve. Give yourself a raise. Woohoo! Ralph says, I'll start another stream when Odin is done. Right on. Semester of welding last year, and I arced myself once. Never did it again. I'd like to see for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. No, my dad did arc welding a lot, and yeah, that was no joke. So definitely safety gear around arc welding, which is serious. This isn't as bad, you know. Plus, it's got a window here, so I'm getting to spill blue. That's not that big of a deal, but realistically, let's be safe. My eyes are old enough. I don't need to do anything else to them. Yeah, that worked great. The other really fun thing for me, I used to keep a bin of just circles, right? Because it was such a pain in the butt to cut out circles that when I would cut a circle and I have the plug that I don't need, that would go in a bin for extras for later, right? At this point, cutting a circle is no big deal for me. And so I still have the impulse to, not these guys, but to save the circle, but I keep reminding myself I can cut the circle size I exactly need when I need to. I don't need to hoard that. I don't need 3, but I may as well do 3. But first I should do the whole vacuum thing. Forgot to plug my vacuum in. caught the jumpsuit. I'm gonna have to do it again when I'm all done, so let's just call that good enough. Oh, this one's a bit on the warped side. It's okay. Get that lined up with the hole, with the lines. Get myself something to focus on, because I told it to go home, so it's gonna want to autofocus. Hurt myself again, good. Oh, good. Daniel's still working on his Cyborg Sanjiro Zanjitsu and the Soki. Wow. Yeah. Hello, Stephen Hall. Wow, Stephen Hall's here. Sweet. Okay. So got that focused. And I don't need a third one, but I've got the parts, so let's just go ahead and do a third one. Justin Diaz trying to apologize for being late. Not a big deal. Glad you dropped in. All right. Okay. I don't need to wear those right now, do I? Being reminded, so early on in the stream, I commented about how I can't find the wood glue, and getting comments like, well, you know, there's that other case left over from one of the other projects we worked on. Okay, yeah. What's funny is I don't always think about that glue, so yeah, I can use that glue. All right. I got one that didn't drop out. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so I'm laughing because I'm looking and seeing on camera 2, which is not currently active, it is still focused at where the laser's been burning. And the laser has now cut out 3 of these parts, which of course cuts through the wood that I want to cut and burns the wood that's underneath it. So the wood that's underneath it is, you know, a bit charred. But, you know, it's all good. That's just the nature of the beast, right? Hey, Johnny Swoop. Yeah, I need to get more videos out. I do need to get more made. I talked about that earlier in the stream. Yeah. I want to do it. I really do, especially once I'm standing in here. The hard part is getting in here to stand in here to want to do it. Someone asked, is that a baseball set behind you? Yeah, it is, actually. Good eye. You spotted that. Here it is. I purchased this a long time ago. This is actually an EVA foam bat. It's not, you know, it's not regulation size, of course, but God, I got this in DIY prop shop days, I think, because I was, we were talking about doing Negan's bat at one point, so I thought I would just, you know, use a foam bat to do it. And then Vinny did it, I think, or someone else did Negan's bat, so I didn't, and I ended up, I've actually had 2 of these. The baseball in the set is also just a solid EVA ball that I've just never gotten around to opening up. But yeah, no, that is a baseball set. What I want to do is cut the pieces to support the cyclotron for where the ribbon cable is going to attach, right? That's not even, actually it doesn't attach to the cyclotron, it attaches to the base next to it. Oh. Which means, yeah, it means I still want to be at here. Okay. Well, I've actually just kind of cut something that might work. Okay. We get to watch Odin work on the computer some more. Yay! All right. Oh, wow. Carving with making a wooden bowl, fork and spoon. Justin, that's sweet. That's awesome. I can sell or give the third away. What, the panel? Eastern 57 is asking if do I have all the electronics ready to go, or am I still waiting on some? Oh, right. So you know I've got some electronics. We don't have soundboards put in yet, so I guess I'm waiting on soundboards. I don't have that set up. All I've got right now are blinky lights, which, as a guy that made props for videos, that's all I need, right? But this is cosplay, so sound is important. So I still need to get a soundboard put into it, even though it's going to be separate from the lights. But the video prop making guy in me thinks that's a good idea. Having those separate means I can turn the noises off so we can record clean audio. So, okay. Wonderful group think friends. If I needed to get a soundboard that could properly run the Ghostbusters sound effects, Lewis and Frankie, and anyone else, what soundboards do you guys recommend that I put into this, and what size speaker should I be driving to make this thing work? It's important information that I probably should have asked before, probably have asked before, but I'm going to ask again now because I didn't bother to write it down then. What I do need to do is Morty. Where'd the Rick and Morty portal gun go? It actually got rehomed. This Kai is asking me this. There's the rare occasions when my props get rehomed, and that was one of the ones that someone luckily got to. It went home with somebody else. Do I have a prop shop? But the mention of this name still brings me back to my younger build days. Right on, Frankie. What's awesome. Small distraction. It was only about 1.5 years ago, I think. I went into the Home Depot in Arden, near Arden Way in Sacramento, right? It's the depot that used to be Kmart, which you don't remember. But I was in there, and a guy walked up to me, and it's like, you're that guy. You're that, and I'm letting him work his way through it, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm Odin Makes. This happens on occasion. It's really weird, but it happens on occasion. So you're the prop guy. You're the guy from DIY Prop Shop. It's like, oh, wow, yes I am. Hello, how's it going? Oh, cool. Oh, okay, cool. Frankie says the Ghostbuster fans boards are always the safest bet. There's many, many guides for using a Raspberry Pi to set up the sound and lights. Frankie Geek has kits, or the Big Bama Jama kit is a GPS star from UK. All right, Lewis, I'll have to look those up. Oh, okay. And Eastern 57 ran lightsaber soundboard. So this is great. I had an Obsidian board, but I actually fried it because I hooked up the wrong. I'm not proud of that, but that makes sense. Right on. I'll look those up. And I have an excuse to make the Evil Morty gold portal gun. Sure. I haven't made a Rick and Morty portal gun on Odin Makes yet. What I want to do is first determine how big this is. Do I need to make that circle bigger? Oh yeah, that is nowhere near as big as I want it to be. Okay, so going off the pack and not off of Chris's designs, the cyclotron circle appears to be about 280 millimeters in diameter. That's pretty darn close to 280 millimeters in diameter. So if I make an arc, okay. So I'll make a circle 280 millimeters. I want to make two circles that are centered on each other, one at 280 millimeters, one at 220 millimeters in diameter. And if they're both centered on each other, I can then cut them into an arc that is 30 millimeters wide that should fit inside of the cyclotron circle that's in my foam one. So let's go and do that. Okay, I'm running into this problem again. I don't need that little circle anymore. Wow, I'm really hard. There we are. Good. Okay. So I'm going to draw a circle on my work plane. I'm going to tell it to be a cutting circle. I'm going to give it a width of, I'm going to not have an aspect ratio lock, 280 millimeters by 280 millimeters. I'm going to duplicate that circle, and it's going to become 220 millimeters by 220 millimeters. Hey, it's still in the right spot. And then what I want to do, arbitrary is fine on this. What's arbitrary, Odin? Okay, so if I take this guy, oh, okay. You're trying to use I'm trying to use the rectangle tool as a selection tool again. Okay, now I know how to do this in I wonder if I'd have to do this in Inkscape, because now I don't know how to do a function. Yep, I'll just do it in Inkscape, because it'll be faster. With vector graphics, I understand how to do the two circles, combine them with each other so they become a single object, and then draw squares over them to start deleting parts of it in order to end up with an arc. There's probably a different way to do it, but that's the way my brain wants to do it. I don't know how to do that descriptive, which means probably nothing to you, method inside of Lightburn. So instead, I'm going to go back to Inkscape, which is now I get to work with radius instead of diameter. 140 by 140 makes it 280, right? Yes. And then we're going to duplicate this, And we are going to keep the aspect ratio correct, and we're going to make it 220. There we go, and it didn't keep it, what do you call it, arranged correctly. Okay, so those two are together, and then I go minus. And now I have a single object that has a hole in the middle, yes. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to want to, yeah, do that. And then I'm going to want another one. Thankfully, the snap function in Inkscape will snap to the east, west, north, south points of a circle. So I know I'm snapping to the center of the circle. That, so we'll do that. And then there's that with that, and we'll do that. And there, I got my piece. File, save as. Cyclotron innard thingy, because names are good. Save. Now, if I remember right, also I can copy and paste from Inkscape into Lightburn. Yes, yes I can. Okay, that's nice. So that's all over there. So I just need this, and I can duplicate that and spin it 180 degrees so they can nest better. Being all fiddly like it matters, it's fun. Okay. I'll set it out kind of where the burn is. Now I need a piece of material that I can cut these things out of. Got my big one. Go home, laser, you're drunk, you're home. Focus. Okay, I'm going to want this to be 0's fine. Nope, 0's not good. Oh, okay, I want to be here, by the way. 2 and 2. There we go. Now I'll go back. Wow, it's amazing how hard it is to see the mouse with the goggles on. There we go. All right, and I'll just burn it. Just go. Just do the thing. Burn stuff. Hey, William Wells. Now I'm back to, while we're burning, I'm going to look at comments. Kai, I'm honestly shocked the Proton Pack has like 45 parts so far. Oh, the Proton Pack is, yeah, it's so many pieces. Oh, okay, good. Oh, Frankie told me the top of the line one, huh? YouTube autocorrect. Will you also tell me I should install Ghostbusters music? Yeah, I probably should. And yeah, don't play it on the stream. Exactly. No, I probably should install the music. I've seen a number of guys do that, and it's fun because that's the whole point of cosplay. You're doing the Ghostbusters. Whenever you watch Ghostbusters, you got background music. So heck yeah, we should put the music in there. I still enjoy the one pack that I saw in San Diego. This was probably way more common, but to me, this was the first time I saw it. He had the Millennium Falcon malfunction sound that his pack would do, and it would do a like sparkly shutdown thing with that sound, and then it would belch out marshmallow smoke because his pack malfunctioned. I just thought that was a great idea. And the whole thing was built out of like Tupperware and Pelican case parts. All right, now I've committed to cutting out 2 of these damn things. Do they fit? Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. That fits up against this circle just fine. Now all I got to do is make sure, because the whole point of this is to give a solid piece for the ribbon cable to attach on the outside. So I just got to make sure I glue this down on the right spot where the ribbon cable goes, which is not that side. It's got to go on the other side. We're actually closer to continuing on. Yeah, okay. This gives me a quarter circle. Yeah, I need to super glue those in. All right. Let's quit talking about it and just do it. Memory serves when you're looking at the pack. Ribbon cable comes from here and twists up and goes somewhere, right? So I'm attaching the ribbon cable here, right? I will ask a couple of times to the people who know what they're doing, and I got to find the super glue I talked about that Dan had. This stuff is great because it's huge. Yep. Steve D is talking about when he did his E.T. Elliott cosplay, which was cool, by the way. He did the whole bike and everything else, I believe. He had the theme song playing so people could hear it, and that it really ties it together. I know I'm a video guy, so I'm against having sounds and stuff, but honestly, when you have the music and everything else as part of your cosplay, if someone isn't 100% on what you are, it can really bring the idea home. And totally, if with cosplay, if you want to get sound effects in it, you want to get music in it, you want to do all those things, do it. I just come from a video world, so I don't think about that because it's not something you do. DJ Stumpy's here. Oh, cool. Okay, so where is, the master plan has pictures of reference for me, so I can feel a little more confident with my choices. Yep, that's where it goes. It goes on the side opposite of, I'm gonna dump my glue, glad it's not open. Yeah, it goes there, okay. It goes here, okay. Yeah, that matches up really well to the, well, on this one anyway. These are handmade. It may not match the other one at all. No, it should. It matches up really well to the inner circle piece. Let me just hold that for a second. I do have accelerant, but I didn't want to, I wanted to have a chance to be able to fiddle with it, so I didn't want to use the accelerant on it just yet. Frankie, thanks for sticking around. William Wells. Felicia wasn't doing well today and just not able to make it. That's really all it is. Wanted to be here. It was a last minute issue. Just had to cancel. So all good. We'll probably be back we'll be back on in 2 weeks. So, I suspect and hope that Felicia will be here then. And if she's not, I'll still stream anyway. I 100% needed Felicia to get this ball rolling. 100% needed her for that to happen. And I still prefer to have her here. This is so much more enjoyable for me when someone else is here to bounce ideas off of and talk to you guys, as well as when I start doing things, you know, she can still look at chat, and there's the occasion that she wants to do things and I can look at chat. So having two of us here is way better, but I'm not gonna oh, I can't stream because my partner isn't here. Okay, that one's finally sticking. Let's just set that down. That goes here, which is still this side. Okay. So not only have I cut parts, but at this point, I'm gluing parts too. This is real, actual, honest to God progress. Just flood this thing with super glue like it's wood glue. Yeah, this one doesn't match up quite as well because they were hand done, but that's okay. This is fine. Oh, but it did lay in. It's still, you should still hold on to it. Okay. Godelup says, I hope everyone else is having better weather. I'm listening while I clean up 10 inches worth of snow from last night off the roof. Wow. Sorry, this isn't as much of a talking stream for you, Goat. Slayer, what did I miss? I don't remember. I must have slurred something. I don't remember saying anything Slayer. Oh, but United States Netflix Demon Slayer is. Gotcha. Okay. Justin says, I like the friendship you have with Felicia. Yeah, thanks. It was great. So we met working at Smosh and just got along, and it's great. I have enjoyed Felicia's friendship for a very long time now, and yeah, always happy to have her come over and do this. And out of everyone at Smosh specifically, she's the one I've kept the best contact with. There's another Felicia that I still talk to on occasion, and really that's it. I don't think there's the sound guy, Ivan. I still talk to him once or twice a year, but not nearly as much as I talk with Felicia. I think that's it from the Smosh crew, right? I still talk to John Joyner on occasion. He was one of the cameramen. He left before I did. Yeah. But it's not like I've got anything against any of them. Well, I still talk to, I haven't though. But I have, there's the director of photography. Oh, John. Another John, that's right, it was John and John. It's John Joyner, John Jimenez. They're both JJs. I still talk to him on occasion as well. We were friends, or are friends, I guess, on Pokemon Go. Not that I've touched that game in a while. I watched Smosh, says William. Nice. Yeah, Felicia and I both worked on it. Felicia's in episodes. I'm in like a couple of them. I'm mostly behind the scenes, which is fine, but Felicia was often on screen. You know, it's one of those, we need extras, so the crew got to be extras. One of those things you can get away with shooting in Sacramento, but can't quite get away with that as easily in LA. There's rules and pay change and whatnot if you're doing stuff like that. You kind of, whatever, guys. Didn't care. We were working and having fun, so I am not complaining. I am, but I'm not. All right. So you put the pack on. I should look at my reference material again. And right-handed, so that means the V-hook goes on this box. Yeah, it doesn't go in the light box. So I need to measure out Oh, someone asked if I got any mail. No, I didn't see any anything new. If you sent something and it arrived since the last time I checked, I'm sorry, but I didn't see anything new show up in the PO box for viewer mail. So it wants to be 83.5. So these are now commented out. Squares I can make in Lightburn without much of a problem because I don't care about making these finger together. I'm just going to glue in panels. I'm not going to try and make a box and no, forget that. Okay, I said I want it to be 83.5, and then the depth. Come here better. I've got, it's 107, so let's make it at 104, just do it at 100. Let's do it a little shy, just so it doesn't poke out. Okay, I'm actually gonna need 4 of those. Copy, paste, paste. You're not copying, pasting. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Okay. There's an arrange button, right? Huh, what did I see? Oh, I drew a circle. That wasn't a selection tool. That was another square tool. No, I don't want to do that. Here's the arrange, yeah. Can I distribute these? 8 centered. Yeah, but they're still not going to fit. Okay. Oh, I made the mistake on doing that. Cut that. Undo, 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 undo. So I cut, and then I haven't moved my wood. So if I put my commented out pieces I just cut back onto my work surface, which I just did, now I know where this is, and I can put my new parts on without overlapping those. Full. Odin, full. Just put things in a way that helps you, that, you know, it's here to help you. I was using the arrange tool. Now I'm just dropping them in by hand so they're close to each other. And I want to have those aligned center. Now I'll go ahead and arrange them. Centered, there we go. So those are those pieces. Now I want top and bottom on this box, which is also going to have to be slightly smaller to accommodate the walls. Tape measure. It's 33, so I want to cut them at 27 because my plywood's 3 millimeter. Okay, so I'm going to want to cut, yeah, 33. Okay. .5 tab, 33 tab. And then this guy, it's not a selection tool still. This one wanted to be 27 by 100. Paste, paste. Paste, paste, paste. Oh, I may not have wood out that far. Need to be aware of where I'm dropping things for the tool to cut, because I've got a hole in my plywood here. So I want to make sure that I'm not trying to cut a part out of where I don't have pieces to cut. Come on. Select. There we go. Find center. Distribute centered. I am committing to cutting all these parts out with the assumption that, oh, it's going to work fine. I haven't done any test fitting or anything else, but you know. It'll be fine. Go home. All right. Let's frame it. Am I going to fall off? Yeah, I am. Okay. No, I may not. These parts are small enough. Let's just go for it. They're the way they should fit. Oh, autofocus, Odin. And do your thing. It is so hard to see the mouse with these glasses on. Oh, Red Dwarf is great. Let's see. Castlevania props. That could be fun. Wow. Lewis Causey, I need to watch this Smosh. Okay, Lewis, we worked on it. We met on it. It was a lot of fun, but Smosh is absolutely an adolescent sketch comedy channel. So it's fun, but you know. Fieldwalker Masks says, hello from Scotland. Hello, Fieldwalker Masks. Sorry, apparently my microphone died. I apologize, guys. I don't know how long that's been like that, but that's bad. That's what I get for not charging my battery. Let me just take my microphone off then. But Lewis is reminding me that I should double check my V-hook on V-hook placement on the Proton Pack, because I might need better arm dexterity to get a hold of it. It's not a super easy thing to do. Also, I've changed microphones to the boom mic overhead, so I hope now it's pointed at the machines. You know, I was trying to use the body pack. I have to get those charged. Anyway, yeah, sorry guys. Battery change is exactly what it is. My inner sound. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm really sorry. Yeah, the batteries died on the pack. I'm not able to keep an eye on everything. So, sorry. It's off frame. Can you see it anywhere? No. But yeah, it just barely missed the edge of the plywood. No, I'm off. I'm still off camera. Sorry. But I got a panel I cut here, and its corner is millimeters from this hole. But hey, it fit, so whatever. Now, I do appreciate, Louis, you reminding me about the angle for the V-hook. Honestly, I had thought about that in the past, and I was concerned about it. And I also know that the wands have a belt hook on the bottom of them, because apparently it is nearly impossible to put them back into that position, or it's just difficult enough that most people don't want to bother, and I can appreciate that. So yeah, I'll need to bend a hook and make the belt hook for the wand. Yeah, whoever was right here but just pooped their pants. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm only live. So I grabbed the microphone pack out of the camera bag that I've been using at work, because I've been taking my microphone to work because it's I need one, right? Theirs is still on order. I didn't check the batteries being charged. So, whoops! I was grateful that I was actually able to find lithium-ion rechargeable AA batteries that I can put into these things. But yeah, when they fail spectacularly. So I'll have to make sure those get charged before I go anywhere on Tuesday. Almost done. One more panel. I'm gonna drop something on the floor. Oh, I remember where that was before. I pushed it down there. There's enough smoke, I can just barely see the beam. That's kind of cool. Lasers. Now, do my parts fit? They don't fit. I gotta cut more squares. These cutting squares is easy. Yeah, well, I am moving my cut piece, but it's going to be close enough that if I just set the parts that I've already cut to don't output, I'll still have enough of a idea where they're at, so the next pieces don't interfere with what I've already cut. There, I got to move them a lot. Can't get my hands under here. Still not too worried about it. The one thing I haven't done that, you know, probably should just do while it's set up. Now, I need to have a registration for it. If I had made pins or something on this thing, it still would be a pain in the butt. I would like to know where 0 is. I would like to know where 0 for what the laser can cut is on my surface. But I don't have registration pins for the machine to go back onto my surface in exactly the same spot. So if I was to make that cut, it would only be good until I bumped the machine, then it wouldn't be good anymore, right? So that's just one of those things that I'd love to do at some point in the magical future. Did I drop one? Is one still down here? Machine exceeds... Gave me a warning. I cut 4. I dropped one. I dropped one of the little skinny guys. There it is. It's in a spot that I can't see it because it's behind this thing. All right. Got all the parts. Double checking. Cat and bat. Oh, that's a cool costume. This June, huh? Thought the laser broke the mic. So DJ Stumpy is reminding me it's going to be 41 years this June for the first Gizmos movie. Right in front of me. Yeah, thank you, William. I'm sure you guys can see it. Okay, maybe. I have to think about that. What can I do? I can make the electric chainsaw that strike... Anyway. He's trying to suggest doing Gizmo's box, the actual box the Mogwai was living in when Peltzer found him in the shop. Is this actually fitting? That is actually fitting. All right. Thank you, Jerry. Okay. That is a tight fit, but it's a fit. So all I'm doing is gluing in little panels of plywood inside of the foam to help give better support for when we put the V-hook on, right? Because there's going to be the motion of doing this, the fact that I've got custom-made aluminum V-hooks, the motion of picking it on and putting it on and taking it off, walking around with the cable that's going to attach to it and swing around. All those things will put stress on the little foam box and it will deform. So this is just to help the foam not deform. Why didn't you make it out of something not foam? Because that's what we wanted to do. And this is just part of the consequence of dealing with that decision. You know, I happen to like building things out of foam, even though there are things with doing that I have to take into consideration and have to work around. But it's not that big of a deal. What I probably should do is cut another one of these and just make this a complete effing box. Yeah, I'll do that. I've already made it. I already made it so it fits, so I may as well cut 2 more of those. Okay. Yep. Now, of course, there's that whole thing of, you cut this out perfect to fit this one. Will it fit the other one? Because these were handmade. These weren't... Oh, the pencil's helping a lot for reaching in there to glue things in. Wow, it's almost 2 o'clock already. And stuff happened. There we go. Now, before I glue the other piece on, because I've got 5 sides of the V-hook box glued in with bits of plywood to help shore it up, and yeah, that made a huge difference. So before I glue this piece on, I'll cut 2 new caps, two new. I can only cut 2 of this size. I'm going to glue this into the other pack so I can start building it up, making sure it fits right, and then I'll cut 2 more. Dan, you're working on a Gundam. If you need mounting things to go inside to help shore up parts, I'm happy to help you cut parts that you need for your Gundam. And does it fit? Yes, it does. In fact, it's sloppy. So I probably should not glue, because this is right for this guy. All right. We will make new parts. Okay, Mr. Abbott, do you really want to do this? If you're making new parts, you could brace this even more in a ridiculous way. So the packs are handmade, and the parts I made for this particular V-hook box are the tiniest of bit too small for the other box. So instead of, I'll just cut new parts for the other one. Not a big deal. But what this is allowing me to do is I'm now going to have, I got 2 wall pieces and 1 in the middle. So it's even got more fiddly bits in there to help make it. It's got reinforcements. The aerosol can is accelerant to help kick that off. Alrighty, this is a sealed box, but it is what I want to say. This is as secure as I can make it without putting something solid in here to give a place for the V-hook to screw into. And if my decision on making a hollow box to screw that into ends up being a bad decision, I'll deal with that when that time comes. I can still get in here with some surgery. Okay, so this box, those guys are still okay. I think it's just my middle wall was. So that's still good. Why was this so different? Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it is still the same, and I just glued my other parts on. Oh, whatever, let's just cut more parts out. I need just these 3 again. Around here somewhere, we'll put 1 around there somewhere, and we'll put 1 around, well hell, let's just do this. Trying to maximize my material that I paid for, right? Do all that, all these guys get grayed out. That's fine, everything's in place, autofocus. You ready? Go. Lewis Cossie, 41 years? Damn, I'm old. Right there with you, Lewis. Yep, I remember when Gremlins came out. I remember seeing it in the theater. I remember being excited to get to go and see it. And I remember, yeah, right there with you. Shot Gremlin says, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Make the room for the Wicked Witch. Odin's the foam team. Gotta make it out of foam. That's right. There we go. Lewis is giving some help for Richard. Although Richard's just throwing out ideas, I think. Dan, alright, let's figure out what you need. Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. So, yep. Song the theater too. Old crew for the wing. Yes. How long did it take to make the sword on the wall? William Wells is asking. That took about a month to do. There's a lot of time waiting for the EVA foam clay to dry. And Austin Lips is here, asking how's my day today. Today is a good day. I'm doing a lot better today than I had been the last couple of days. And I'm actually getting progress done on projects. And I'm actually getting parts made and glued in to Proton Packs. So, what's going to happen in 2 weeks? We'll probably end up gluing a lot of the greebles on. We need to put the motherboards together. I'll try and find my my wood glue for that. In fact, I might wood glue the two pieces together beforehand just to get a jump on that, because wood glue takes more time than we're online than we're doing a stream to dry. Come on, lay down on the bottom. There we go. All the way down. All the way down. There we go. So Dan was talking about making some parts out of Sintra, which is great because Sintra is easy to use. It's fairly easy to cut with a hobby knife, right? It's not like other materials like, say, plywood, where you're going to need a saw of some sort in order to make those cuts. But for anyone who doesn't know, and I actually had to look it up, you don't want to cut Sintra with a laser. Sintra is foamed PVC. And not only does, when you atomize, when you're cutting stuff with a laser, you're vaporizing it, right? And so if you vaporize the PVC, you're going to make chlorine gas, which, you know, that's bad, but that's easy to mitigate. The big problem is that gas, as well as other particulates coming from the PVC, is bad for the optics of your laser. So even if you're to set your laser up outside and do your cuts, you're still actually hurting your optics. So just don't cut PVC with a laser. So you don't want to cut Sintra with a laser. EVA foam is safe. EVA foam does not have the same issue. PVC, AVS, both have that problem where the gas they create by cutting is just bad for the human, but also bad for the laser optics. Yeah. There's lots of things like that. Polycarbonate. Polycarbonate isn't so bad. Acrylic is fine. Polycarbonate isn't exactly bad for chemical-wise. It's just the light transmission's poor, so it doesn't cut. It ends up just kind of melting and being messy. So polycarbonate is not good to cut with a laser just because it doesn't behave. Oh, you know what? I forgot to make my middle one. But acrylic is fine to cut with a laser. Acrylic cuts great. Leather is good to cut with a laser. Smells foul, but leather cuts great. In fact, I intend on, there's like all the belt greebles and holster pieces and stuff that go with the Ghostbusters costumes. Yep, gonna laser those parts out in order to make the leather bits. That's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, still, I forgot to cut another one of those. The little middle piece, the little middle, not metal, middle piece that I put in. I forgot to cut another one of those. And that. You still focused? I'm not sure if you're still focused or not. You're not exactly on the right spot either. You're probably fine. Goggles. Is it 2? It's 2 o'clock. Get this bit done and then we're done. You know, notice that's just wrong. BD1 is here saying hi. Hi, I'll say hi back at the last minute. Dan says I'll most likely use thin plywood instead of Sintra. I'll make the parts more solid, and they'll need to be since I plan on breaking down the parts into smaller pieces. Yeah, and you talked about making all the armaments, so you'll need some support. So. Everyone's talking about the first movie they recall watching in the cinema. So I'm seeing Return of the Jedi, the original in '83. I'm seeing, recall my dad was Smurfs and the Magic Flute, and then was Superman. See Christopher Reeve ones in the cinema. That's interesting. No, Bean is not out here in the shop with me, Ionolith. He's safe. He's not out here with the noise and the fumes. I'm just kind of curious on the whole Smurf thing with remembering. So I remember the Smurfs. I remember their popularity. The first Christopher Reeves movie I remember seeing in the theater, that was '79. Was that a re-release of the Superman movie? Because it seems like the Magic Flute came out later. What do I remember seeing in the theaters? Hard to remember what was my first. Because my dad was an engineer, so we'd go to the movies a lot because that was a way for him to stop thinking about work. I do remember, so I remember my parents coming home being excited about Star Wars, and my mom being really excited about it because of how the crowd reacted, and they booed when Darth Vader came in, and all these other things. You know, they're being good parents. They wanted to make sure that adolescent, 6-year-old Odin could go see Star Wars in the theater. So they went to go see it first. I know I saw Grease in the theater, but I'm not remembering what year that came out. I think that came out after Star Wars. And I know I saw Jaws 2 in the theaters. I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's all kind of around the same area. So I'm not remembering what my first one was. I don't have a strong memory of that. Saw all those. And I know I probably saw Disney movies first, because I know I saw Apple Dumpling Gang, and I saw some of the Herbie movies, and I saw some of the James Bond movies. So any one of those is probably my first, but it's all going to be mid to late 70s. So something from there. Because Team Old.
3 sides so I can glue this in as my support. Give the box a little squeeze. Waiting for it to set. Can I let go briefly? Sort of. Don't fall. And okay. So I've been out here almost 5 hours now, getting the laser set up, getting the motherboard diagrams put together so I can start cutting pieces out. We've been streaming for just over 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours really, if you want to count the pre-show with all my Patreon friends, Patreon and Discord friends. Guys, I want to thank you all very much for hanging out with me today. I want to thank you all for sticking with me, especially all the Ghostbusters fans, as I very slowly work my way through building Proton Packs. A big shout out and thank you to the Terror Dog Squad here in Sacramento for, you know, accepting me before I get my crap put together, and always being awesome guys to get to talk to at cons. Hopefully I get to see you guys at Stockton Con next week. I will be back in 2 weeks. I'll be streaming again. So not next week. I'll be in Stockton Con. So the week after Valentine's Day. So the week after the 15th, 16th, whatever that's going to be. 7 plus 15 is what? 21? So 22, something like that. That weekend. That's going to be the next live stream weekend. Hopefully Felicia will be able to make it. And if she does, we get to actually honestly look at putting on the ribbon cable, because that's in place. The thing I wanted in order to make the ribbon cable attach is in place. Actually get to start putting on the motherboard, the back piece, all that kind of stuff. We get to move forward, which is really very cool. So thank you all very much for hanging out with me today. I should check comments really quick. Yes, first was an 80s thing. That's what I remember too, Lewis. Stevens was the first was Star Wars. Jaws 2 was 78. Thank you for looking that up, Eonolith. Dan Does Junk remembers Jurassic Park as his first movie in the theater, which is good. That was great. Oh, keep an eye on the mail. I was supposed to get it yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah, stuff got re-released in the theaters. For all of you who don't remember, there was this weird period in time in history where we didn't have cable TV, we didn't have VCRs. If you wanted to see a movie, you had to go back to the theater to see it as a re-release. And that happened all the time. The original Star Wars got re-released in 80 before Empire came out, or around the same time. So Superman got re-released a few times, and all those things had an encore run. Or they would run for like 6 months or a year in the theater because there just weren't as many projects. It wasn't the fire hose of media that we've got pointed at us now. But anyway, that was then. This is now. And in 2 weeks, I'll be streaming again. I've got a Rando Mando to work on. I really need to shoot some of that. Yeah, I really honestly want to make videos. I really do. It's just weird that when I'm in the thick of it, in the middle of coming home disgruntled from work, that's a kind of a harsh word, but you know, worn out from work, it gets really hard to get my butt out here and get going. I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me. I will see you for sure in 2 weeks. And I'll keep an eye on the mail because it's supposed to have showed up. Sorry, I didn't have any viewer mail today. Where's the button? Where's the button that says I can go to lunch now? Is this my lunch button? Ah, yeah, there it is. Lunchtime!